Task 2, Team 1, you were all given well, a job was posted by Louis for the next task. You got to go to, you were told you're going to go for, excuse me, you're told that you had a job for 75,000 on delivery of a prototype to a contact in Denver. They agreed to cover the costs, the environmental gear you're going to need, and to make all the necessary travel arrangements. And you were flying essentially a charter flight from SeaTac to Denver, and then from Denver you were going to the Shibanochi-juki freefall resort. Sure. It's in lower Earth orbit. You were asked for a lot of your biometrics, your height, weight, SIN name needed to be provided essentially of who you are. Some of you may have used your real SINs if you have one, as well as a variety of personal data augmentations, and your preferred weapons were all noted. So, what essentially happens is about 24 hours ago, you boarded a small smuggling plane in Snohomish that was, or excuse me, you were taken to Snohomish and given the directions, and your flight information and all that was downloaded to you. You then went to SeaTac, where you took a flight. You notice that the shady person that you met in Snohomish was there with you, traveling with you, and they managed to essentially get you through the TSA pre-check line, if you will. A variety of fake SIN, or your fake SIN, if you didn't have any, was provided with a sort of like security personnel fake license as well. And through whatever wheeling and dealings they did, they kind of got you through SeaTac a little bit easier than you may normally fly yourselves. Well, when you got to Denver, you learned that your trip to Shibanochuki, I don't know how to pronounce this name, Shibanochuki? Anyway, was definitely going to be for work and not for pleasure. You were provided with Evo Hell suits. It included a face mask, and otherwise it's the common suit worn when you go into space and you spend time on a space station. You then climbed into a metallic coffin-like container and was fully sedated and loaded into a cargo hold, where you were then flown into essentially what you could only guess was to the Fruitfall Resort. The next thing you really remember, though, is right now your eyes are fluttering open and you see a dwarf on an AR display above you. He's got a neat cut goatee and some long sideburns. He says, "Ahoy, Jemmer. It's time to wake up. I've disengaged the locks in your crates. You can go ahead, stand up, have a stretch. We've got a few hours until we arrive at the Apollo station. Get used to floating around. Find the box with the mag boots. It's somewhere back there. And then ping me on that terminal whenever you're ready to talk." And the video feed kind of cuts off, as you would believe it was probably a pre-recorded message. So as you look up, you notice that the top of what essentially was your container, it has moved to kind of one side. You're staring up in a cargo hold at the metal roof. Around you there are supply crates that are stacked all on top and strapped down. Many of them got an Evo logo and some other denotation on them. The floor is littered with these different crates, but the ceiling has ample amount of space and room. You can tell just by, you're kind of groggy waking up, but you can tell that your body feels much lighter than normal, and you're still wearing that holosuit with the mask on. Though the air gas mask is not engaged. You just are still wearing the mask. And the mask is telling you that the air around you is breathable. That's where you're at.
So I'm gonna get up and start, trying to feel what sort of gravity there is right now.
Yeah, it says you start to kind of use your arms to pull yourself out of the crate and get up. You immediately start kind of floating a little bit higher. You realize you're in very, very low intensity gravity. And your movement is becoming, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort before you're kind of floating toward what looks to be the ceiling.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see if I can get myself aimed toward some of the. Is there a crate that's labeled mag boots?
Go ahead and just give me your gymnastics plus agility roll. Just to simulate
It's safe.
you. Good. What's up?
It's safe to take off the mask, is what our readout was saying.
Yeah, it says the gas mask was on and it was actually connected to the crate to refill itself with air. You would have known this whenever before you got in it. And now that you are in kind of you've gotten through the dangerous part, if you will, of launching and all of those sort of things, the gas mask does not need it, and this cargo hold actually has atmosphere, or at least oxygen and whatnot inside of it, so you can take it off.
Nick will unlatches and sort of push it away.
Alright, Loxley gets a little more momentum than he intended to at first, but he manages to catch hold of several of the crates, and you're kind of floating around, and you can start looking for the mag boots.
Yeah, I'll if the gas mask like internal air supply can just be disengaged, while not actually fully removing it, that's what Loxley will do.
Yeah, you can do that.
But he's not gonna take it off because he's
Yeah.
still sort of scared of being in space.
These suits have a gas mask with them. They have a normal air supply to them if you engage them, but they're often kept as part of the suit as more of an emergency issue, right? Because these are suits that are normally worn around a space station just as your daily activities and
Right.
whatever, you know, it's your normal jumpsuit sort of thing. But if there's an emergency or something where you suddenly need air, there is a gas mask that you can use and engage it. And you were told before you came up here that it's quite common in a lot of stations and stuff. There are probably emergency areas around every so many meters on a ship where you can find refillable canisters and stuff like that, right? So if you needed to refill up. So yeah,
Right.
you can disengage it. Alright. What's Echo and Arachne doing?
Echo saw this on a trid once, so she's going to try and get herself out of the container and somehow gracefully land on the floor.
Okay. You start to kind of pull yourself out of the container, and even though this cargo hold is fairly large, you look up and the ceiling is right there. There are crates right there. All these other people are right there. And you suddenly feel just like the world is enclosed around you, and you have that sudden realization that you are basically in a pop can that is now floating through an empty void. And there's nowhere to escape.
What was that movie? Oh God, I gotta look that up more often. Well, there's got to be some boots around here to arrange for orientation.
Sure, give me a composure check. Let's see how you're doing with your claustrophobia.
Yeah, knew that was gonna come.
Alright.
She's not losing it.
No, you kind of prepared for this. You're on board. Take some big deep breaths. You get up and start helping Loxley look for mag boots. You can pull yourself through the air. Arachne, what are you doing?
Well, those two guys got the mag books covered up, so Arachne is going to look for the next most important thing. She's going to look to see where the ramen is stashed.
Sure. None of these crates, all these crates are gray, and say they're labeled with Evo. Some of them are labeled with med supplies and just other like display numbers written on them. Whatever. It probably makes some sense on someone's shipping manifesto. But you do not see any signs of ramen.
Turn towards Nick. Nick, where's the ramen?
We lied to you, Arachne. There's no ramen in space.
Where's the return button?
Waiting behind a prototype something or another. Then we'll get you ramen.
How long are we going to be up here?
I don't know.
So you should meet up in space. We don't know how long we're going to be up here. There's no ramen. And where's my guns?
Oh yeah, we don't have any of those either.
That's a good thing.
It is. Are there any windows in the little pod that we're in?
There is a on the back door, or on the back, has a big like cargo essentially door if it was to be open, but you can see an airlock that has a small window in it that goes into the next door, and the next door as well has a small, very small, just window inside of it.
Yeah, I want to try to go look out the window.
Alright, you go look out the window and gaze into the black distance of space. Stars twinkling everywhere.
It is just pointed out into space. I don't see giant Earth or anything.
Not currently from this window. You do see very far away in the distance a long cylinder, white structure, a space station, as well as a circle that goes around it. You could only hazard to guess that is the Evo station that you were leaving far away back there.
I'll just kind of like put my finger to the window and I sort of like look back at Arachne. And I'll say, maybe they had ramen.
Wait, dude, you see a spaceship? Where?
I'm just pointing out the little tiny window.
So as I guess you said these boxes were just labeled with like shipping ID numbers or whatever, so we have to actually open them up and see what's inside.
No, one of them is conveniently tagged on the top, and it just says your gear on it, as if somebody took like a piece of electronic paper and just slapped it on top, almost as like a post-it note to you.
Great.
And you guys managed to find it. You will have to unbuckle it a little bit and take off the top, so you can grab the stuff out of it. It is strapped down currently, but it is conveniently left there for you. Right next to it is another one of those sort of cylinder coffins like you got out of. It's smaller than the ones you were in, and it's got an Evo flag draped over it. And there's another one of those like post-it note sort of things on top of it that just says "Leave alone." Like, do not touch.
We leave that one alone.
So you.
Yeah, let's see what's in ours.
You pop open the top of yours. On the first layer is 4 sets of mag boots. And you can pull those out and hand them to each other.
Echo takes one of those and puts them on and clamps herself firmly to the floor.
Underneath of that, you get to feeling around Loxley. You feel a kind of false floor to it. It's very obviously there once you've got the mag boots out, and you pull that up, and you see 4 pistols. Excuse me. There's 2 pistols that are actually Fichetti Security 600 pistols, and then there's also 2 machine pistols that are Fichetti 100s. You guys would all have enough firearms knowledge to recognize those. And as you pull those up, underneath that, there's one more layer underneath this that has a variety of clips that appear to all be filled. And the light music starts coming over the speakers. Just easy listening. Guitar sounds.
Alright, I take one of the Fichettis, one of the... Did you say Security 600?
Yeah, there are
and
2.
I
Take one of those too.
just start looking over it. Is it the stock model?
No, these have all been, as you guys look overall each one, they've all been modified. It's not surprising they probably need environmental modifications due to the fact they're in space. But otherwise, yes, the the Shetty 600s all come with essentially a small folding stock that can be popped out, and then a laser sight.
All right.
And the 100s.
The 100s, excuse me, they don't appear to have any sort of smart gun system that is normal common. These looks like this has been changed out for environmental adaptations, and they do have a laser sight that's been added to them. And they as well have been adapted to have essentially a folding stock, so you can make these things pretty small and tuck them into pretty tiny pockets, all things considered.
I'll take one of the 100s. Also, Loxley, are you sure there's another like maybe another false bottom? Have you checked? Maybe there's more stuff.
There's not another false bottom, but you do find as well to be essentially, well, no, sorry, that's not this. That's all you find in this. There's no other false bottom. They do have a variety of clips. There are six clips for the 600s, and there are 6 clips for the 100s.
I checked the ammo types.
They all have gel rounds in them.
All right. Start dividing
Makes
them
sense.
up equally. So 3 clips of gel rounds each.
3 clips.
Yeah, I don't know if those things have a full auto mode, but
They sure
maybe
do.
be careful with it.
Yeah. Can fire the
I
gun
volunteered
6
to test
times.
it. Nick, stand still.
Arachne, do not fire.
Okay, fine. We won't test it on Nick.
Do not fire at anything while we're on this tiny little spaceship.
Man, you're no fun.
And you said all it has is a folding stock and a laser sight? Is that right?
Yes.
These gel rounds shouldn't pierce through the ship, but if anyone can do it, Arachne, it's you. So please, just do not.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Alright.
Um,
Look for that console that we're
Yeah.
supposed to tap once we're equipped.
Alright. You go over to the console. It's got a few buttons on it. There's one big obvious one that looks like someone has like highlighted with an AR display on it. And it's again got like this AR logo on it that says push here. Like somebody's been messing with the AR displays.
Gosh, I hope our entire job is just clicking post-it notes. Like we'll press the button.
And I was like, oi! How you feeling? Any motion sickness, are you?
Don't believe so. A little bit lighter. Where are we?
Oh, we're on our way out to Apollo Station. Why don't you come on up? I'll give you all the briefing.
which station did you say?
Apollo?
Apollo. Which way is up?
Oh, right. Away from the cargo. And you see a little, like, light ding over toward a kind of, if you were to go up and over, you will see a small, like, door that is, well, normal-sized door, and there is a light above it kind of flashing at you to catch your eye.
Nick will smirk and point and say, look, another post-it note. And then try to push off towards the door. Or I guess we can walk now.
You could walk, but it would actually be easier to push off toward the door. Otherwise, you have to kind of maneuver through all the cargo. It clearly looks like this cargo bay has been loaded up with cargo that's going somewhere, and it was not laid in here for anyone to walk on the floor, as if, you know, they weren't expecting there to be people hiding in or laying in coffins.
I thought we were walking on the ceiling, right? You said the ceiling was clear?
Oh, fair enough. If you want to, yeah, you can mag boot and walk upside down. Yeah, absolutely. Click your heels and stick your boots to the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Echo's just gonna push off towards the general direction of up.
Alright. Go ahead and give me that gymnastics roll. Just to see how you do flying around in space. Alright, there you go. So you push off and start heading toward it, fly past Nick. And you manage to get to the door. Alright, Luxley flies over there next. Lands with a spin even. Are you doing...
This upside thing sounds fun.
Yeah, you want to describe that, Loxley, with your 6 or your 5 hits? Are you spinning in circles or anything?
Oh. Loxley just finishes holstering his gun and putting his pistols. Are these suits modified with gear access, or like how are we?
They do not.
do it
These
like
these
that?
particular suits do not have any form of They definitely are custom fitted. They're all like made for you guys, and they fit beautifully. But they do not have any holsters or gear access or anything like that. They do have
Okay,
they do have a couple
I
like
guess.
normal pockets that if you fold the gun in half, you could kind of stuff it in there.
Okay.
That's
I was just wondering what I'm doing with these clips. And this.
yeah, it's not good. You can stick them in the pockets that kind of come on these suits. They wouldn't make for like a slick looking quick draw per se, but you can
Right.
not have them in your hands.
Yeah. And then I just push off, sort of twisting around past whoever's in my way, and then I guess we're in low gravity, so it's just like a long graceful step
Yeah,
over towards.
and you land with
Well.
your boots down, and you can click them back together and stick to the floor. All right, and you're all at the floor at the door. Then kind of opens automatically, and you open up into what you'll quickly learn in space is the entire place is inside of spaceships is pretty cramped, and this one is no exception. It looks like it's not made for more than a group of 4 or 5. And when this door opens, it's got kind of a bridge to it. There's a little bit of space you can stand, and then there are 4 seats around 2 of the 2 in the back, sort of, that look around kind of this observation, which this area does have windows, Nick. And there's 2 in front that you imagine more like 2 co-pilots would normally sit in, but there's nobody in here. So if you want, you can sit in those seats and strap yourself down, or just gaze out the window.
Go
Is
ahead
there
over
like
there.
a trid display in here?
Yes, there is. So in the front, it'd kind of be in like the space that would be between the 2 pilot chairs. There's a TRID display that is there, an AR display. And as you guys kind of all enter and start to take your seats and move around, that dwarf comes back on the AR display. And he was, "Hey, oi! Have a seat, take a load off. Enjoy some easy listening and some smooth jazz." And then he turns on music, and you get this lovely guitar solo going.
Why are we listening to a guitar solo?
The dwarf said.
Rather than smooth jazz, can we
What did you ask for, Lux?
get on to the briefing?
Oh, right, fair enough. Sorry, I'm off out here quite lonely. Oh, well, my name's Benny. You can call me Benny. I fly this here little ship. We're currently taking, if you will, a Evo crash cart ship. Taking supplies to the Apollo station. At least that's what our cover story is. And he kind of snickers. Takes a sip of, like, AR coffee. Right, so, the Apollo station is an old Ares station. It's mostly just a cargo facility. There are still people there, though, so every so often we do supplies drops for them. It's cheaper for Ares just to pay Evo to bring them stuff than for, you can just, it's almost like FedEx here in space. That's what I do. Anyway. Yeah, so, alright, so I'm gonna make you guys a little detour before I go to the main part of the station that's still up and functional, there's a part of the station, the lower part, that is quarantined after some recent warnings they had. We don't know what for. The area's been keeping that pretty tight-lipped. But we're gonna stop there. We should help you get inside one of the airlocks there in that quarantine section. You go in there, you need to find 2 crates. One of them is SRB 9763, and the other one is SRL 9863. Once you find those 2 crates, you bring them back to me. It'll probably take me, all things considered, maybe 4 hours for me to unload, top up the fuels and stuff like that, and get back to you.
What was the second number?
SRL 9863.
Alright.
And we don't know what's in those.
Yes. I'm not sure I'm supposed to tell you. You wouldn't try it. Well, I mean, you wouldn't try to steal them or anything, right? And he kind of laughs.
Where are we gonna take them?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Well, the first one is a prototype Ares Artemis, some type of gun. And the second one, it's mostly a bunch of underbarrel lasers.
Wait, did you just say lasers?
See,
Underbarrel.
and the
It's for
dwarf,
aiming.
the dwarf looks at Nick. It's like, this is why I wasn't quite sure if I should tell you. And no, it's not those kind of lasers. These aren't laser sights.
Oh. Well, Arachne's not a thief, she's a ninja.
Alright, good.
And I look at Arachne until she, stops seeming so interested.
Is
in
this the
stealing.
part where I wink?
Don't wink. Don't.
I feel like Arachne's trying to wink, but doesn't exactly know how, so it's like, like, wink.
Well, I'm a thief, but you don't steal from your employer.
That's
True,
right.
good point. Also, next thanks for not calling me a thief.
Alright. So 2 boxes, Ares quarantine, and who's picking us up?
That'll be me. I'll meet you back at the same airlock and pick you up there. Should take me about 4 to 5 hours to get back. Gotta unload all this cargo, make this trip look legit, you know? The most important thing here is don't let Ares know you're there.
Really?
Well, Nick, is it? You're gonna find that us is, I just drive the ship. I don't really know a lot about what you guys do.
Are you real?
Of course I'm real.
Then why is there nobody sitting in the pilot's seat?
Well, and he thinks about it. Well, I don't have a good answer for that.
It's fair enough. Is this all of our equipment? And I kind of just gesture to the 2 spare clips that I'm holding and a small machine pistol in my other hand.
Oh, no. That locker right there. That's got it's got suits for you.
If I turn around and see a post-it note, I swear to God.
Yeah, there's an AR post-it note.
All right.
Like an electronic
Appreciate it.
paper poster note.
Right, yeah. I guess being sedated, we don't forget. Like, did we leave all of our gear behind in Denver? Is that assumed?
Yes, whenever your contact that you met with there, any gear that you would have been traveling with, which probably wasn't a whole lot because you did go through SeaTac Airport and you were told you didn't really need anything, everything would be provided. But yeah, your change of clothes and stuff like that. Maybe a pistol or something is
Oh,
all in Denver.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of stuff. The one thing that I was curious about, and I assume is in Denver, is like my forearm bracer with my bio monitor and all that stuff.
Yeah, everything that wasn't isn't on your person right now, unfortunately, is in Denver.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I knew that. Okay.
It's me when I reloaded the rails that got left behind.
What's that, Echo? You were really soft.
Sorry, I'm assuming my reloading rails got left behind then.
Yeah, anything that God didn't give you, essentially, or was implanted in your body by some doctor afterward,
They
is
took
left
my
behind in
spine.
Denver.
Well, then at least I still got my important weapons.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, that's a good point. We were put to sleep. Does anybody have any weird scars or new stitches or anything on their body?
we're in like suits. You wouldn't be able to tell.
I volunteer.
Like,
Loxley takes his suit off.
No, thanks.
And you guys will know, even though the suits help to kind of protect you against this, it is rather cold in here, all things considered. It's kind of this bone chilling. Not so much to give you frostbite or anything, but it would be uncomfortably cold for most people, if not for the suits.
We'll get checked out by Tropic as soon as we get home.
Okay, sounds good. But what if we turn purple, or we grow an extra arm, or other stuff happen because it's quarantine place?
You might want to worry about that later. Let's see what sort of spacesuits we have. Why don't you go check those out, Arachne?
Roger.
And then Loxa will say to, what's his name, Benny?
Benny.
Benny,
we can
did
call
you
him
have
Benny.
a plan for an explanation for why you're stopping at this other airlock?
Nope. I'm hoping they'll just lose sight of me. It happens on occasion. Don't worry about it.
Great.
This place where we're going, well, it's mighty big. It's easy to get lost in things in there. I won't
You ever
actually be
drop a-
stopping very long. We're gonna stop just enough to get you guys out the door. You'll have to take it from there.
Outside?
Yep, outside.
So we're not actually gonna dock. You're gonna drop us off, and we're gonna hope we get the airlock open.
This is the equivalent of getting tossed out of a slowly moving vehicle, isn't it?
Something like that. Slow, though, is a relative term. But don't worry about that airlock. Unless you feel like using breaching charges, I got Sparky here that can help you with that. And like a small beagle-like dog, an AR, starts slobbering and jumping around on the same AR display.
Alright. Well, if we want to go unnoticed on a space station, I feel like we're gonna have to turn all our wireless off.
I don't
Oh,
think I have anything wireless as I'm like patting myself down.
yeah, don't worry about that. Also, the space stations maintain their own grids, which unfortunately you won't have access to unless you feel like trying to hack into it, so... Well, kinda solves your wireless problem.
Yeah, we don't have a choice but to be off.
Good. We're
How
off
the
to a good
Matrix-
start.
That's how the Matrix works out here, unfortunately.
You got any, I don't suppose our suits have micro transceivers built in? Or otherwise, like, short wave radio?
Well, I don't really know what's all on the suits. Why don't you go take a look at them?
Alright. I guess I'll do that then.
Alright.
So we'll go join Arachne.
I'm working on it. The dog distracted me.
Alright, you go play with the dog, Arachne, and I'll look at the suits.
If you, Arachne. So the dog is in, like, the AR display. You currently don't have any, oh, sorry, you do have some wireless capability thanks to the suits that you're wearing, so you can see the dog. If you want to reach out and pet it, it's jumping around and, like, just, like, starts slobbering on your hand very excitedly like a puppy.
I whispered, Nick, can I keep it?
No. But, you know, enjoy it while we're alive. And I will also reach out and pet the dog.
It kind of stiffs your hand, and then it just says, "This is how dogs work, right?"
You're doing good right up until you talked.
Oh, and then it just gets quiet, and it makes a barking noise, but it sounds a little bit more like a cat's meow than a bark.
And I'll pet it on its head.
Alright.
Close enough in space.
Then he
It's
goes,
a cat dog.
That's
It's a
Sparky.
cat dog.
Sparky's still trying to learn about being a dog. And he decided to switch to a dog persona when he found out that apparently we humans have more empathy
save.
for other humans than dogs. More empathy for dogs than other humans. That's what I meant to say. You distracted me there. Don't interrupt. It's rude, Nick.
It's true. You're much more trustworthy when you pretend to be one of us, and that this is supposed to be a dog. So, you're doing good.
Alright, so you check out the suits, Arachne. Oh, sorry, Loxley. The suits have a drag handle that you find on the back. They also have a kind of a built-in flashlight in the helmet portion. They have these suits actually do come equipped with like a quick draw holster, as well as gear access. Which it's actually just a few spots you could maybe put tools almost around like a utility belt versus it doesn't have like spots for, you know, grenades or anything like that. It's just got a few things around the side. That's really kind of part of your...
I hope there aren't grenades anywhere on the ship.
That's part of your kind of built-in holster is into that. It's got a few spots. Otherwise, the helmets themselves have kind of a makeshift comlink / microtransceiver. It's more going to operate typically on more like a comlink with different displays and stuff on it, and it has all your, you know, it'll do all its reading with the sensors on the outside, and then it does actually have an adaptation. You can hit the button and to kind of speak out loud. It would, you know, depending on how far away from you, it'd probably be hard to hear, but it does have sort of a small broadcasting capability. But you probably wouldn't be able to hear each other very far if you're more than maybe 10 meters away from each other.
Oh, so it's more of an external speaker?
Yeah, it's more of like an external speaker versus like a microtransceiver.
Got it.
And our friend said that we don't have wireless, is that right? Do I need to turn off my wired reflexes?
Yeah, you won't have wireless, especially while you're in space. Your current suit seems to be giving you a wireless connection, the one you're wearing now. And you would imagine it's probably using the ship you're in somehow it's broadcasting through that or has a connection through that. But whenever you get inside the space station, he said you're not going to have a wireless access unless you can hack essentially the local grid for the space station, the Apollo station.
Yeah, that my reflex or reaction enhancers are turned off.
Don't you have like a manual button that we can push to make you go faster?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has anywhere that's reliant on wireless, but we won't have a wireless connection unless you guys want to try to hack into a grid hub. So.
Don't think I'm equipped to grid hop.
Yeah.
Is there a little baggie in one of the spacesuits that says drugs?
Is there a baggie that says drugs? What are you trying to do?
I'm just wondering if they tried to give us combat enhancers or anything, since...
No, there are no combat enhancers or anything like that.
Alright.
Yeah. Start looking for that AR post-it note and you don't see it.
I don't think it
With the
affects.
mission time frame, like Cram and Psyche would be useful. But, not that Loxley would take them. But
They were so you could ask Benny if you want to see if he has any such things, but you don't see any obvious stuff on the.
All right. Then I'm just gonna start getting into the suit, which I believe is some sort of extended test.
It is, and I have a macro for an extended test if you want to go open it up. That will make it easier. It'll do at least 6 rolls for you. The extended test to get inside of a spacesuit is agility plus reaction. It's threshold 12. It's 1 minute. But when you start to put on suit, Benny will tell you like, "Whoa, whoa, chummer! It's a bit early for that. Unless you want to sit around in that thing for hours."
Quick question about the spacesuits. I read in the book that you can pee in them.
Yep. That's one of the capabilities.
Technically, you could pee into any suit around here.
Yeah, but this one's designed for it. There's a difference.
Yep, yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm just gonna make sure mine fits, and then I'll take it off again.
All right, you can. You just want to practice getting into it. You're more than welcome to take it back off.
See, Luxley, since you're taking it off, how about you take the rest of your clothes off? We just want to check to see if you have any new scars. You know, in case something got implanted on us.
And what did you say the threshold was?
12. So you would have got it in 3 tests.
And then I repeat the process to take it off. I'm just trying to get familiar with it.
All right.
And then put it back on the rack, I guess.
Okay.
Which role is this in the thing?
It should be one labeled, I think, extended test.
Okay.
If you go to the macros tab and check the inbar button,
Mhm.
to extended test.
I see it there.
Alright, begin playing with your spacesuits. Let's see, let's talk about what spacesuits have in them as you start trying to put them on and play with all the gadgets. It does look like these are, they can have, of course, the life support system in it. There is a biomonitor as well as, like I said, the comlink, which kind of will use your, you can speak through. There's the standardized the standard polarized face shield. There's also a liquid canteen built in for your hydration necessities, as well essentially a liquid disposal attachment, if you will.
Is this just a standard spacesuit?
It is just a standard spacesuit.
Okay.
I checked to see if it provides any protection against stabbing, burning, chemicals, shell rounds, stick and shocks, that type of stuff.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, they come with standard some chemical protection as well as fire resistance and insulation and thermal dampening. All built into
Any
the suit.
Kevlar armor?
They do have, I believe, a base armor to them. Yes, they're thick. I think. Is that right? Am I wrong there? Yeah, they do. They have a base armor 12. So yeah, they have some base armor to them.
Alright, but this is stocked, nothing else that we need to add to it?
Like I said, they have a drag handle, a flashlight built in, as well as essentially kind of a little bit of like a utility belt to it, and that includes a holster.
I don't suppose you guys have any riot shields on this spaceship. Hey, Benny?
No riot shields here.
Alright. I hope there's nothing too dangerous on the other side of the station. If we end up dying to something, you might consider sending the next crew with some shields.
Alright, I'll put that on the note, Jimmer, and he literally takes out like an AR post-it note and begins writing down. Then he sticks it in the corner on the AR display.
Also, like, looks around at everybody else. Is like, oh, am I being too morbid? Sorry.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm sure they've equipped us appropriately for what we need to do.
Don't have much of a choice. Hopefully
Yeah.
just rely on what we got.
Well, whatever it is, we better do it fast because I don't want to miss dinner.
That's fair. Getting a little hungry myself.
Is there a wait? What's the how much time of life support is on in this spacesuit?
The spacesuit will work for the power lasts for 24 hours. Your oxygen lasts for about 12. So if
Okay.
you could recharge
So
the
this
oxygen,
should last
you'd have it
us.
good.
This should last us until he comes to pick us up.
Yes, it'll
according
last you
to the
then.
plan.
And as he said, and you kind of were giving in your briefing in Denver, is there's often kind of places around a space station where you can recharge the air oxygen
Right.
if you need to. So.
How are we supposed to get a hold of you, Benny, in case something happens?
Well, that's the tricky part. Not sure you can. But
If something terrible if something terrible happens, we'll just take over the space station. No problem.
well, that sounds like a good way to go about it. But what I was thinking here is Sparky, if he can do his job, he's gonna be running around after you lock the door on the grid. You can always, well, I mean, yeah, you could try to get in contact with him if you direct plug into something. He might be able to get a hold of you. At least get a hold of me, maybe.
Okay.
This is the first time I'm really sort of doing this part of it. We normally moving supplies around in a little more, wink wink legit manner. I haven't dropped the team off before yet, but I hear you're the best.
Hey, you got one of those post-it notes, Andy?
Yeah, I could do that. And he kind of hands you a post-it note in AR.
I write on it, wink with an eye, don't say wink, and then hand it back.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's bad. Yeah.
Just looking out for you.
Oh, well, I do appreciate that. Been
How
flying
long
this
till we
thing
get there?
a long time. Some people are saying I'm starting to lose it. Oh, it'll be about another 6 hours.
Do you mind turning off the air conditioning or turning it down?
Oh,
I mean, turning
well,
the temperature up.
yeah, I think that's more the problem, right? I could probably fiddle with it a little bit. We don't want them to know we're coming too soon. No, I haven't been running too many resources this. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. It's been a while since I had passengers. I don't
No,
ever
you
get
got a
cold
good
anymore.
point there.
Sorry, what?
If the ship's supposed to be cold, then may as well leave it cold. I think we can deal with the temperature.
Alright, yeah, if you don't mind. Like I said, that's, me and Sparky here don't normally get too cold. We don't have to turn up the temperature. I don't want them to see anything different going on. It's a good thinking.
Yeah, we'll live.
Nick, we can all get together for body heat.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Arachne. You start.
Okay, who wants a group hug?
Loxless sits down in just one of the chairs in the cockpit.
Okay.
Echo curls up in a corner.
Alright, it is a hard, cold metal floor beneath you. Your suit helps a little bit, though, with the insulation on it.
Alright. Nick will give Arachne a body heat hug.
So they're gonna be cold, but we'll be fine.
Do you just keep holding on and never let go for 6 hours?
I mean, it lasts for like at least 45 seconds until I weasel my way out of it.
Alright.
Gonna go back into the cabinet and see if there's anything else we missed.
Alright. Go back at the other door. What are you looking for?
Nothing. Just seeing if there's anything we missed. I got nothing in particular.
Okay. Sorry, you can even, as you come back through, if you went out the stairs, you can start jumping from crate to crate using your gymnastic skill and like walking across the top of them. You see if there's anything else you missed. I don't think so. I don't think there's a whole lot left in this. It looks like just small, mostly batched down hatches or cargo crates and whatnot.
Just make sure we reseal the crates that we came out of and the one that we opened up and get rid of that post-it note.
Well, they're all AR post-it notes. I imagine Benny's got those.
Alright, then tell Benny to erase them. Just make sure whenever an Ares crew comes in to unload cargo, that everything looks like it's in order.
Oh, right. Yeah, good thinking, man. And Benny gets to work on that, starts typing away at stuff.
Guess I'll take the small lid, assuming it was like sort of handheld size, for the crate that we did have to open with the shoes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Offer to play a game of low grav frisbee with Arachne for the next few hours. feel like kicking
That's
around
fun.
the old metal lid.
Good. Hey, Sparky, come join us.
It's an AR dog, Arachne. It can't actually catch a frisbee.
But it can try.
Yeah, it can't actually track. And you notice when he jumps around, he doesn't.
Play AR frisbee.
He doesn't take on a 3D form. He seems to be 2D in many cases, and he is jumping around the space from like trid screen to trid screen.
Perfect. Let's kill the time having some fun.
Oh.
You call him over to you. You're like, "Come here, boy," and he just turns into a straight line as he turns directly towards you.
Pretty much, yeah. It's definitely clearly some form of AR or AI that has not yet mastered the mechanics of being a dog per se. It seems to still be trying to figure out.
We'll give
how
it
to
some
do that.
pointers as we play fetch.
Alright, and start telling him you need to be 3D. Space yourself out.
Yeah, that's probably where we start with. Like, see how my body does this, and I'll like rotate my hand.
Alright. So you mess around with the dog, Sparky. Meanwhile, the dwarf shuts off the easy listening jazz. It looks like Echo's curling up in a ball in the corner, and Loxley's not really paying attention. You can the ship itself just has a low hum to it, and that slight smell of recycled air. As you continue on, after like 5 hours or so, you finally get to a spot where Benny calls you back up. Tells y'all to come check this shit out.
Jeez, Benny. You know, put the lid down, like fasten it like Loxley had told us to originally, and then come back up to the main room.
Okay. In front of you in the displays, you see a long black rectangular sort of station approaching, or you're approaching it. Its design has kind of this, it's very rectangularish and rounded on the edges, and it almost puts you in the mindset of like a semi-automatic handgun, or maybe like the Ares Alpha, sculpted after that. Its hull is kind of black and gray that's highlighted in all these blue lights coming off of it. As you begin coming closer and closer, you see a giant Ares logo highlighted in red, painted on the side. It's, for Nick, who saw the Evo station just briefly, this hulking fortress makes like the Evo station look like just some child's clubhouse or a top sitting off in a distance. And Benny kind of banks the ship toward the underside of the Apollo station, headed toward an empty dock.
Well, that's not intimidating at all.
Yeah, wouldn't expect much less from it. Ares.
We're almost there. We should probably get these suits on.
You're probably about an hour out still.
Yes,
Yeah.
it still looks pretty far away, but
Okay.
now might be a reasonable time anyways.
When you used the term banking, it made me think we were a lot closer.
No, no. Only in the sense that it is a very, very large ship, and you're gonna have to head toward the bottom of it to dock where he's telling you
Right.
you're going. Yeah.
How long did it take Loxley to get that on before in 3 tries, or Echo in 4? It looks like.
Looks like 3 to 5 minutes, pretty much.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, then yeah, we could probably wait. Say, whereabouts on this thing are we going now, Benny?
I'll tell you, we're taking it to this side down the bottom. That's where they've shut it all off. We should be able to put you up next to one of the doors. Nobody should be down there.
Can we tell if the station is rotating?
The station does not appear to be. If it's rotating very slow. You cannot tell just by looking at it. But given that its
Okay.
size and the fact that it's always up here, and it does have people on board, you would imagine they have some form of gravity to it.
Future gravity.
Future gravity. It's probably under even just a light thrust might even be what keeps the gravity going. But it does not. Sorry, good.
It's science.
Yeah, it's science. I read about this stuff on
Okay.
a wiki earlier. That's all I got. No, it's it probably has a light thrust to it versus a rotation that's keeping at least some form of gravity on it. Though probably not something like a full planet would.
All right. Nobody down there. Just a couple of boxes that we need to grab. This will be easy peasy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Be
Benny,
holding
Do,
down,
do I even need to say it?
Space milk run?
No. No, I'll save it for later. You know what I was gonna say. You said the worst word possible in the job profession.
I know somebody who probably knows why that station's in quarantine, but I think it would be a bad idea to ask him.
Is he on this spaceship?
Nope.
Then you're gonna have a hell of a time asking him anyways.
That's some hell of a long distance charge.
I mean, you got a satellite link on this thing, right, Benny?
yeah, something like that. It'll take could take several seconds, if not minutes, for it to get
Oh,
back
no.
here, depending on who we're sending it to.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not gonna tell an Ares employee. I'm not gonna ask an Ares employee what's in this space station that I shouldn't even know about is under quarantine.
Well,
So
that's mighty fine of you. That's a good call.
Let's put it this way, Loxley. We do our jobs well enough. Maybe that guy's gonna hire us to help him with this space station in a couple of weeks.
oh yeah, that's a fair point. Hope we don't die terribly, because I bet he'd pay a lot of money to have us fix whatever the problem is.
Hmm.
All right.
All right. Yeah, you start approaching. Benny will send you a kind of picture of what he guesstimates the crates will probably look like. The crates are, how do I describe it? One of you guys could probably pick them up, but they tend to be more like long and bulky, so it'd be awkward. It would probably be, depending on the gravity, you might be able to kind of drag one fairly easy, one at a time, or if the easiest way to carry them without causing any issues would be for one person to grab like either side of it in one hand, right, and like carry them back. I'll tell you, these things are not the shipping crates, so be careful with them. They're not as fragile as the ones I got back there in the cargo bay.
All right. I don't suppose. I mean, kind of waited a bit on this one, but I don't suppose you've got a layout of the inside of this facility, do you?
No, not particularly. They tend to be broken up in a lot of different like small storage facilities. The whole place is, well, massive. The area you're going into though probably is 3 levels, I think. And it's we've narrowed down that's where they keep most of this gear, like old military or prototype style military gear. So it's probably in that section. That's the most we could narrow it down to, though. I know that's not mighty helpful.
Yeah, that's alright. You can be super helpful just by pointing us to which compartment has first aid supplies and other life-saving gadgetry.
Oh, in
That would
here?
be this one over here. Yeah, like Nick is just like pointing to various parts of the spaceship, waiting to be told that the team doesn't have any first aid or anything.
About that. Um,
I mean, they should have first aid stations on the ship, right?
yeah, I think
Pretty
so.
much everywhere they have oxygen resupplies.
Yeah, your suits will tell you when you get inside whether or not they've shut down the atmosphere, but I can't imagine they have.
And if they have, well, let's just hope nobody gets stabbed because you're gonna. Let's just hope nobody gets stabbed.
Let's just always hope nobody gets stabbed. I don't care if we're in space or not.
Yeah, always a good plan.
Getting stabbed hurts a lot.
Well, I haven't been out in the real world in a long time. I've been up here for, I don't know, man, damn near 20 years now, but I do believe that there's not a lot of stabbing going on in space stations. They tend to try very hard to stop that kind of, that and like normal bullets and shit from getting up here for obvious reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
You see a lot more blunted weapons or gel rounds like in your pistols there.
Have you ever been in the real world, Benny?
Oh, of course. I was born in Atlanta back in 41.
Really?
Do some quick math. What year is it again? 67?
79?
79. I
What
was
world are you
off by
living
a
in?
lot.
Well, Oxy's an elf. He could have been alive and 30 years old by then. So.
Moxley's been 25 for a while. We don't know how long.
Wow, you're old.
Well, I've got a few years here. Yeah, I suppose so. You don't need to say it like that, though.
Oh, you look pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Well, at the very least, there's probably no giant snakes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that'll be a step up. Hey, don't worry about Arachne. We dealt with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of snakes around here. It's too cold for their type.
Huh. One nice bonus spot space.
Great.
Wait,
Well,
there's no
never
killer
mind.
robots, right?
Well, that I can't speak on. I mean, we did
I
have
think it's
that
almost.
AI who took over a space station some years ago.
I'm sure that's not what's going on in the quarantine zone.
There's absolutely no rogue AIs going on here.
No, I'm sure it was just a routine quarantine. Those things happen, right?
Yeah, maybe it's just a drill.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes some of the food supply or something gets, a little roughed up. Somebody slips in. I don't know. Quarantines are pretty infrequent around here. It's usually some type of spill or something, or like some shielding on the nuclear reactors, like having issues.
Benny, stop supplying helpful information, please.
All right, sorry about that.
Scary and Arachne.
This suit can absorb radiation, right?
Yeah, like a little bit.
Yeah, some, yeah.
Wait,
Oh no,
No.
these don't even have
no,
radiation.
they don't even have a little. What kind of spacesuit?
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's pretty bad. Like you go outside and then you're just dead because
No,
if like
calm
the sun
down.
is.
Your hell suit has some radiation. That's that inner shielding you got there. That's what your jumpsuit.
Right.
Oh, do we leave that on in the spacesuit?
Yes.
Yeah, leave that on, pull the hood up, take the gas mask off, and then just, jump on inside. I mean, that's custom
Alright.
fitted, too. You look how tight it is. I can see your jiggly bits.
Stop.
You should...
Eyes up here, Benny.
I'm sure. It's hard. He has, no excuse because the trade displays are actually... above.
Keep your
Cameras
sensors
up
up.
here.
Keep your sensors up here. You too, Sparky.
Nick, I think he
Put my
likes
finger
you.
at him.
So yeah, the mask you got that comes still with your hell suit, that'll give you another 5 minutes if you get in a lot of trouble, but you really don't want to use that if you can avoid it. But no, you keep the jumpsuit on and just climb into the space suit. You'll be fine. You get that double insulation, it'll keep you nice and warm.
Any special features about the suit we should know, like hidden taser bolts that shoot out of the arms, or rocket thrusters, or anything like cool?
No, I'm pretty sure your friends here have explained to you a few times why you don't want things that cause holes and whatnots, and the last thing you want to do is start shooting tasers around here. There's a lot of delicate electrical equipment. Fry some system, you're screwed.
That's alright, Arachne. When we get home, buy you a spacesuit that can shoot tasers.
Hey, well, those things are custom fitted
Okay.
to you. Maybe talk to whoever got you up here. They might be willing to sell them to you. They can't exactly reuse them.
Well, they're not going to rehire us?
Oh, well, that's a fair point, but I don't know. Do you think they want to stick that in a closet somewhere waiting for you?
Maybe.
Wait, Benny, do you have a magic marker?
Gonna expect Benny here to haul them around? Magic marker, no.
Anything I can write with?
Well, you might check that drawer there below the console. It might got something in it.
Okay,
Wait,
I gotta check
Arachne,
it.
What are you?
She's going to claim her spacesuit.
You find a Sharpie
It's a
and
Sharpie.
a pencil.
But this suit belongs to me? Question mark. I can't say who I am though. Question mark.
Okay, you just write that on like the arm of your jumpsuit.
Why don't you put a little spider on there? That way you can say who you are without saying who you are.
You know, I would, except this one guy, he called me Spider, and that was before they bricked my eyes. I'm like, they're starting to know that name. It's like kind of creepy.
We are getting pretty famous.
Never liked spiders myself. It's one thing I don't have to deal with up here.
This is where I shouldn't tell him I can spin webs, right?
Yeah, you're not going to want to do that while in the spacesuit, just to be clear, because that won't leave the spacesuit.
That's a good question. How do I take this arm thing off?
You don't.
That's literally keeping you alive.
But what if I need like manual dexterity and stuff?
Well, that's what the low gravity's for, and I'll like kind of exaggeratedly spin around.
Didn't you guys like go to a metaplane and kill a Shaddam and go like underwater in Aqua College? You guys are professional at this, right? Wasn't that your group who did all that stuff I read about?
Oh no, most of them are dead.
Oh.
We're the leftovers.
Oh, well, that's alright. Best of luck. I'm sure you'll know what you're doing. You
gotta start somewhere.
Eyeballs Arachne, who's looking at her suit, looking at how she could take it apart. Well, anyway, you wanna go they're getting that suits on? We'll be there in about half an hour now, unless you yeah.
I'll wait until 10 minutes and then put the suit on.
Alright.
Let's get ready. What is it, agility and body?
Agility plus
Reaction.
reaction. Alright, Sparky, go get in your home. You gotta get ready too. Don't forget your own suit. Let's see. Arachne gets into, or Loxley gets into it in another 4 minutes. Nick just hops into his after 3 minutes. Arachne also climbs on in after 3 minutes. All suited up.
Echo does it in 4.
It does it in 4. Alright. You guys get all suited up in your spacesuits. They're tight. They're well fitted to you. They do not feel like they They're also like custom made essentially to your form and for your height and everything, so they fit once you get inside of them as well as anything else can. And you feel a little kind of more bulkier, a little bit slower, but the low gravity kind of helps you make up for some of that.
I arranged my clips in my
Your belt.
gear access belt
Yeah.
thing and holster the pistol.
Where's
Echo's kind of amazed her suit has room for her tail.
It's custom fitted.
fit? At least we knew which one was yours. Where's yours, Sparky? Looking back at the AR screen.
His is down there. You'll find that over there in that little console. Unplug that there. It looks kind of like a comm link. It's not quite.
Snatch it.
You snatch it. You
Oh,
fine.
oh,
Good.
Nick, I gotta test something. Are you ready for this?
Probably not.
Okay, it might come in handy as a surprise. Okay, I'm going to turn this on now. So she turns on her chameleon field on her face, and hopefully her face is no longer there. So do I look like a dead man walking, or an empty spacesuit, or does this look creepy at all?
What did you turn on?
Her chameleon skin toner.
Oh. Does the spacesuit have like a reflective shielding? Or no, we probably don't have that up either way. So, yeah, that looks creepy as hell, Arachne. I can see your teeth.
You can see the. Oh man. But still, do I look kind of like it's an empty spacesuit? Do you think it would fall for it? Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well that's an idea. Okay.
And yes, you asked about that, so you probably don't have it up yet, but you do have the polarized kind of face mask whenever you're, all
Right. Once we're actually fully in it, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna let that ruin Arachne's excitement.
No. You don't need it on right now, but when you get outside, you will.
All right, and so I've got this comm link in my hand. You said.
You have a small. It's not quite a comm link. It's a little bit bigger. It's probably more about the size of a tablet, and it is it's got a universal connector on it, and it has a small display on it, and it's kind of just moving through some data right now, and then pretty soon you see like a pixelated version of Sparky's face like pop up on it.
Is he wearing a little spacesuit?
He is wearing a little spacesuit. It looks just like your guys's.
Wow, that's low resolution on that camera.
Give him
You
a
would
little
say
thumbs up.
it looks like it's more of an art choice on Sparky's part to appear that way versus the device.
What's the model year on the tablet?
It's actually
Is it pre-crash?
It's not
27.
pre-crash, but it's like 68 or something. Like it's pretty old.
That's fair. Give him a little thumbs up if there's a little front-facing camera or something.
Yeah. So you give him a thumbs up, and he just makes this barking noise sound at you. So Benny will tell you. So what you're gonna do is you take that, you plug that little cable straight into one of the doors for Sparky, and Sparky should be able to then get access to the door. He's got a short lifespan though, and it's gonna get harder and harder for him to stay there. So once you get inside, he's probably gonna shut the doors, and then he's got a good sense of time. He'll be back to open them whenever you can tell I'm coming.
Alright. Wait, we just leave him plugged in outside?
Just leave him plugged in outside. Pick him up on your way out.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll sort of wave to Sparky and then hand the tablet to Loxley. I know he's responsible with electronics.
Alright, everybody into the airlock then.
All right. You guys head down to the airlock. There's that like shh behind you, and all the air. You'll see you guys can feel like the ship has docked and it's stopping next to another airlock, and it's connected. And there's that psh sound as the doors open, and there is a closed airlock door in front of you to the space station. It has no indicator lights or anything like on as you've kind of seen as you've been coming up to the other doors and like driving through or flying through the other areas of the space station. There's big indicator lights to let you know where airlocks would be that a ship could stop at, and this one though it's completely black as if it's been this entire area of the ship where there were lights and things on different areas of it is completely out, so it is just dark.
Alright, I'll click on my helmet flashlight.
Alright.
and step through the airlock and look for the place to plug in Sparky.
You sure enough find sort of a small universal port. And that will easily fit a data cord. So you can pull it out and stick it in there.
Yep.
As you do, the device actually kind of vibrates a little bit to it, and then you just there's just that moment of silence, and you guys have your mag boots clicked on because otherwise there's no gravity where you're currently at. It is just sitting there in empty space. After what seems like an extended period of time, the door opens with that sound, and you can walk into the inner part of this airlock that goes into the Apollo station.
Well, there shouldn't be any sound. Wait, no, we're connected to the other ship? No, but did we purge the airlock?
You're right.
I'm not quite sure.
There wouldn't be. You're right. There wouldn't be any sound. I was just making sounds because you're right. There's currently no air in it because it's been vacuumed. It's about to open up to yours. So there's no air sound for this one. You go inside and the metal closes behind you, and there's that few seconds while it takes the atmosphere and all that to chest, and then there's the to the interior one. Now you are going into the actual station.
All right. Are there any lights on inside?
Yeah, let me describe what you see.
On our way in, we kind of glossed over. Just want to make sure, tell Sparky to watch our 6.
All right.
As we're walking past him as he floats in space.
Yeah, I probably told him I hope he doesn't get too cold.
Hey, you say that he puts on a little doggy sweater on the AR display, and he's just floating there now in an AR sweater, and he's just got like one of the bubble helmets,
No suit, just the big old fishbowl on his head.
Yeah, just a fishbowl and now a sweater vest.
He'll be
That
fine.
sounds perfect.
So he doesn't get cold. Alright, as the interior opens up, you look inside, you see a long, dark hallway, metal grated floors, the ceilings as well, all made of metal. There appear to be these tracks going on the ceiling. There are no... the lights inside, like all the lights that would be on those sides, are all shut down. There's just sort of these red emergency lights placed kind of throughout the hallway, and otherwise it's just this long distance black hallway. Your suits indicate that there are small traces of ammonia nearby and other kind of chemical and organic smells that seem rather thick, but there is no or the air is breathable and it's not necessarily at toxic levels. Let me see if there's anything else here. Otherwise, this entire section is just complete dead silence, other than the clink clink of your mag boots on the floor.
Okay. So far empty, just as advertised.
Yeah, the floors have kind of this grated metal on them, and that's what you're walking on here, with a little bit more solid on each side. The metal kind of has this track in the middle that you would imagine it's probably used for drones or something of that nature to be more anchored to it in the otherwise low gravity. The hallways are sort of just wide enough for two of you to walk next to each other. They're probably not quite 3 meters. And there are these big sort of metal doors, many of them painted with black and yellow stripes of kind of cautionary doors. They will have some kind of like... There are very few AR displays in here, but these doors are listed in both like a plaque next to them as well as an AR display. They have different just random numbers. Well, they wouldn't be random. They're random to you, but they would obviously, match someone's manifesto or that kind of organization type stuff. Some of them are very clearly labeled as you're walking through here as cold storage or other type of small monikers of what might be inside them or what their primary use is for. And but otherwise, it's just the entire place is dead silent. Let's see.
I guess we better start searching and figure out what some of these labels mean. I wonder if there's like an SRB room and an SRL room. The supposedly random numbers, like what format were those in?
The random upper letters. You didn't have a key or anything of that nature. You would imagine though that the crates probably are related somehow to the sector, and so if you can find kind of the right sector, you would imagine that crate is probably then inside of it. So the first number or the first letters you saw probably are related to what kind of cargo bay or wherever it's at.
And so I'm just wondering, like the numbers on the door, the couple doors that didn't like match up with anything we knew. I'm wondering if how they were labeled. Like, did they have like a 3-letter designation on them that might help us figure out when we're in the right sector?
Sure. Do you have any analytical mind or problem solving type skills or abilities? If not, we'll roll some smart dice.
Not really.
Okay. Let's see. Roll me your logic plus your intuition. Okay. As you begin walking through this area, you are currently on the level you're currently on is you kind of figure out that SR probably describes like the section you're in, and then the first number on the crates, as you kind of take a right and look into one quick room, you'll see that these are labeled beginning with 8. And so it seems like you probably need to go up or down in order to find SR essentially in the 9.
Alright.
So you're gonna need to find some stairs.
Yeah, that's what I say to the team. Looks like these doors are labeled similarly to the crates, at least. I think we're in the right section. We just need to go up or down. So, anybody know anything about space station design?
I have a science fiction knowledge skill.
Can roll that.
That's what I do. Oh, really? Alright.
That'll come in handy.
I know security design, but I don't think that applies.
Oh,
Four
damn.
hits on science
But
fiction.
always believe in the trids.
Right? You're pretty sure you actually saw a trid that may have been filmed on this exact station. You know that there are, if the trid was to be believed, you know that there are elevators. In a quarantine zone like this, though, there should definitely be manual stairs as well. You should be able to find a manual staircase to take you up or down. You know in that trid, at least, that there were definitely armed turrets stationed in the ceilings. And, I don't know, tell me more about the trid. What else do you remember from this movie, this action-packed thriller in space?
Well, I mean, particularly when the space station got compromised and quarantine started locking up different sectors, there was definitely clear indications of maybe more dangerous places to go than like a generally acceptable path to get out or to get around.
It's fair. You would know that
Is
the
there-
stairs tend to be closer to the airlocks. Let's see.
And are there any locations around that might have kind of like the equivalent of an emergency exit chart that shows the layout of the station and where our designated escape pod or whatever would be?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think how to best to describe this to you. You know that such layouts would be closer to the. Let's see. This would have been more of a cargo door that you came in, not necessarily a civilian door where you were, looking to bring in crew. So you would need to find a place that's either closer to crew quarters, probably intersections is usually the best place to look for such things, right? Because if you wander around in here, it's a giant maze, and intersections tend to point you the direct way personnel want to go. So if you could find like a cross intersection, those usually work best.
All right. Yeah, Nick will rattle some of that off from one of his favorite Trid shows.
That's fantastic. You do know that this place is also really big, and that some of these cargo bays were sometimes 40 or more meters, like wide or long, and another one's being. It seemed like in the Trid there were smaller rooms as well that would be 8 to some meters wide, depending on what was being stored there. They obviously in the Trid were much more cleaned out because they needed the space for a filming crew. Some of the scenes that were filmed here. Alright, well, we'll hold on to that foreknowledge in case we need anything else from that, 'cause that's fantastic on your. You've definitely seen this place before.
Sounds good.
Alright, so I just figured out that you need to change floors and you need to find an intersection in order to find kind of a map of the place. So you begin walking.
Just keep an eye out for the tracks or panels where turrets might be.
Yeah, you had saw in the Trid that the turrets would actually move along these tracks in the ceiling, so they could actually be repositioned by whoever was kind of controlling them. You would imagine from the host or somewhere. You guys can continue down the way. You begin walking for, oh geez, almost 50 meters or so, when you begin seeing far up ahead the signs of a intersection. Like one of the bigger main thoroughfare intersections, not just one small one that goes to different bays. And mounted, and sure enough, there in the ceiling is a turret.
Well, that's awkward.
Is it active?
You can give me a perception check.
We don't have our contacts or anything as well, right?
No, you don't have your contact. I mean, you can have your contacts in, yeah. What they taking those out? Your eyes might dry out actually with them. Yeah, so you probably don't have your contacts in. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'm assuming we literally have none of our gear whatsoever.
Yeah, I was wondering. Contacts, earbuds. Is that something they'd take?
Yeah, they probably would have taken all of that, or just had you leave it behind.
You don't need contacts, Nick.
Jesus,
That's
Nick.
Perfect.
Apparently they've been holding me back. It's like, wait, you're supposed to take those out and clean them every once in a while? I just occasionally buy new ones.
You kind of zoom in, like look really close at the turret. It appears to not be moving or rotate or anything. It's just kind of sitting there very, very still.
Hopefully the section's security is shut down, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, let's be real for a second. We can't do nothing about it anyways. We're packing gel.
Well, if you take careful aim, you could probably still damage it, but yeah. Maybe not with this pistol.
Can she pick out the display / you are here map anywhere nearby?
Yeah, you see there's a big kind of electronic paper printed actual display up on the wall at the end of it. You can't see it very well from here. You are quite a ways still away from it, but you can see the corner of it, and you imagine that's what that is.
Alright. Nice and easy, turret. Wander over to the side.
Alright. You wander up to the side, you find this large AR style, or I'm saying electronic paper style map that has been... Actually, you know what? I take that back. It's not even electronic paper. This has actually been painted on the wall as a sort of large just map on the metal there. And it has... what in particular are you looking for? Just where the stairs are currently to get down?
Yep. Stairs in, closest escape pod.
Okay. The closest escape pod is actually if you went toward the stairs, and then it's another 20 meters after the stairs back to the wall.
Alright. Never hurts to know, your emergency exits.
Yeah, and by escape pod, they are a little more than those like bubbles that you can get in.
Nope. Well, then I hide that information from everybody else so that I could have my escape pod.
Yeah, they're survival, like the survival bubbles. You know what I'm talking about? That you can use. They're not exactly like, you're not piloting these anywhere into space per se. They're a bubble you can climb into that has a homing beacon on it and hope somebody comes picks you up.
Perfect.
What does it sound like in here?
Complete and utter silence, and then a clink, 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 clink as your team starts walking around. You can just hear their maglock boots, like clink, 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 clink.
That's just creepy.
Every so often you might hear a whoosh or some small sound like that, but for the most part it's just your boots on the floor.
And we are currently sucking suit oxygen, right? We're not exposed to this.
I believe so. I don't think anyone told me they took the air off their suit.
Yeah, we got a reading that there was what was it?
There's some traces of ammonia.
Some organic.
And
Ammonia,
yeah,
that's right.
and other organic kind of compounds in the air, but it did report it as breathable oxygen.
Okay. We can always last resort that. We've got 11 hours and some air left.
If you're trying to do a matrix action against something on a different grid, it's just a -2 dice pool, right?
Yeah, that's assuming you're on a
but
grid. You don't
I can't
have
be on a grid. You're right.
Without getting on the
I-
station's grid, you
I
have
got
no
it.
grid.
Yeah. All right, forget about that idea.
Alright. We head into the stairs.
Nick will point with his finger and tap on the wall to point where the stairs are, then orient himself, and then sort of motion for the team to follow as he takes point. It's the slow trot towards the stairs.
Alright. Begin slow trotting over the stairs. It is about another 10 meters or so down, and then to your left, and it's just a big kind of long metal staircase that goes up. And again, you're just boots going clink, 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 all on the floor. And as you get to this next floor and you come at the top of the staircases, you find this sort of big round machine. It's almost sort of an octagon, and it's got these small, you don't quite know what they're for. They're just kind of these long, like, circles on each corner of it. And the floor is completely covered in, looks like some type of dried chemical, or perhaps even dried blood from the red color of it, and it looks really old. And then in the center is just this kind of organic bloody red mess.
Nick told you it's aliens. We should leave.
Really? Loxley, you know what this is?
Looks like blood.
That's probably a bad sign.
I mean,
I got nothing.
I'm gonna take one of my spare clips out.
Mm-hmm.
And am I seeing this correctly? We're coming down the stairs, and at the bottom of it, we just see this splatter of carnage.
Yes.
I'm gonna take one of my spare clips out before we get down there, and just kind of.
and did you say there was an octagon-shaped thing, or?
Yeah, it's sort of like this octagon-shaped table almost. It's very large. It
Okay.
is probably about not quite 3 meters from end to end. It's very big. And there's just this mesh of kind of gore and organic material in the center of it.
Okay, does it look like the table, like, is meant to be at the bottom of the stairs, or like?
Oh yeah, no, the table like thing is definitely it's big. It is actually like it's like bolted in or actually part of the floor. And so it's clearly
Okay.
some type of machinery that is made as part of this station.
Maybe we should check the other direction first for the crates. Though I've got a feeling that that's not where they are.
I think on the trids, the higher the number, the lower down.
That makes sense. Deck's away from the bridge, and we're on the low end of the station, right? Or,
Yes, you're towards
anyway,
the
the
station.
direction we're going is away from the.
Away from the center,
Yeah.
the bridge. I'm thinking I toss this down just to make sure it's not something active. Yeah, I mean that looks like an old bloodstain. Nick's currently holding one of his clips in his hand.
Okay. The blood on the floor, it looks dried, certainly not fresh. It has this more of kind of very almost crimson black look to it, as well as it's flaky and almost looks more like rust, as if, it's...
Can I make a medicine check to guess how long it's been sitting there?
Sure.
You can always make a guess.
Let's see. Just given its color and general kind of flakiness and stuff, it could be weeks, months, like days. It definitely is not fresh. Didn't come the last few hours or anything like that.
Yeah, so I'll convey. Yeah, that's probably at least a few days, if not weeks old. Maybe it was related with what started the quarantine.
Yeah, we forgot to ask when this place went into quarantine, didn't we?
I thought Benny said a few weeks.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he had all of his screws tightened. Alright, so just walk on down.
Wait, through that, the alien autopsy thingy?
Mm-hmm.
Did you not watch the end of your movie?
Arachne, don't sign up for any more space jobs.
Hey, I didn't think there'd be aliens. Or leftover aliens.
What else is there going to be in space? You've seen trids too, haven't you?
Yeah, but that's all, fake.
Are we, we're in low G right now, right?
You are, yes.
I'm just gonna toss lightly push the extra clip in that direction to see if anything picks it up and on motion or anything crazy.
Okay. Are you
Shove it in
trying?
that direction.
Yeah, are you trying to get it like into the pile, past the pile, or just towards it to see if something like jumps off the table and grabs you?
Yeah, ideally like near and then past if I have such an angle.
Okay.
Sort of in the in the path that we will need to travel to pass this table.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a ranged combat roll. Let me see.
I guess throwing is what you mean by range combat?
Yeah, sorry, throwing. Yeah, that's it. There's no penalties for low Earth gravity. Yep, give me throwing
No
weapons.
penalties to my roll? Okay, so just
I
defaulting
don't think
then.
so, not for throwing weapons, so yeah. There's DV modifiers, but not nothing to throwing.
Not for short range.
Yeah.
There are for.
Yeah, you do have a -1 to all your physical attribute actions like maneuvering and stuff like
Actually-
that, but I'm not too worried about this one.
This is artificial low G,
Yes.
so the ranges do get shorter.
The ranges do get shorter, yeah. You currently are probably about 7 meters from this thing, but if Nick wants to, he can come down the stairs and get a little closer to throw it. So you
Sure.
kind of pitch it across there. It doesn't go quite where you're wanting to go, as the gravity kind of throws your trajectory off, but it kind of flies past the table, and nothing jumps out of the table, nothing grabs it. The clip just flies over till it gets to a wall and clutters against the wall.
Good enough for me.
So, for the record, Nick, you throw worse than a girl.
It's weird.
Also, your clip isn't organic, or full of blood, or warm.
I am,
I don't think
though,
that'll work.
and I'll go ahead and push off and try to follow the path that my clip did.
Alright. Alright, so you follow the path your clip did, and we go flying toward the next wall. And as you do, well, I'll leave you to that. Loxley, Echo, and Arachne, are you waiting for Nick to land, or are you following after him?
I'm literally pulling out the gun, sticking in the clip, loading it, and readying it for anything like tentacles shooting out or alien pods to explode.
I'm gonna wait until he lands.
Okay.
Loxley's gonna follow after him, but he's gonna like aim to land next to him, not
Alright.
like assuming he's gonna move out of the way.
Alright, you jump, the two of you, Loxley and 9 to 5. I need to stop calling you Nick. You jump off the stairs and head toward the wall. As the both of you do, you can just see very faintly on the table, you can see like the goo pile in the center is moving just a little bit, just very, very slowly, almost like a little bit of a whirling motion, or just like something like mixing it up. And it's just
I regret
very,
my
very
decision.
slow. And then you land on the floor next to the wall, next to the clip.
I look at the thing that's moving and try to determine what it is while drawing my gun.
I'll motion for the other two to hold on for a second as I scoop my clip out of the air. We'll say, it's moving. Don't come yet.
Alright, Loxley.
Yeah,
What do you want me to roll?
Do you have biology or anything similar?
No, just that one rank of medicine and lots of ranks of first aid.
in
Yeah,
science fiction.
Roll me more your first aid. That'll work.
All right, first aid.
This
not
is
a-
space goo from.
It's not a gunshot.
There you go.
Okay, cool. I wanted to double check what else you got here.
No, it's first aid plus logic. I took off the quick healer because I assume that doesn't apply.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not actually healing anyone.
Not healing. So you look and kind of take a closer look at this pile of goo on this big long table, and you see that it's almost like pieces of the thing are slowly being stacked on top of each other or formed. It looks very structural. It's definitely nothing alive. You do see part of a tusk in there, and you see little bits of bone fragments, as well as just other pieces you can't even identify where they would have came from. And they're slowly kind of being formed into small balls or cylinders. It's like almost like something is being assembled.
The hell is it, Loxley? Is it safe?
I think there's nanites.
Are they gonna kill us?
Hopefully not.
Loxley says it's clear. Let's go.
Just
We'll
don't
motion
shoot
for the
it.
other two to
I feel like
to jump over.
if we shoot nanites, they start to see us as a threat. But right now it's just making balls and stuff out of what's left of that guy. So
Think he shot it?
maybe.
Good enough for me.
I was going to try and bounce off a wall to stay as far away from this thing as possible to land near Loxley.
Okay. You got enough in gymnastics. I'll buy you the two hits for now to jump off the wall. Let me double check one thing.
Come on, Arachne. It's not gonna bite until it does, but then it'll be fine after that.
If it bites, it's your fault. Okay, I come over slowly while aiming the gun at it in case it does anything weird.
Just don't shoot it.
If it bites Arachne, I promise I'll kill you before it does.
With gel rounds.
Does anyone have a skill in the engineering group?
I've got automotive and nautical mechanics.
That's probably the closest we're gonna get to anything in the engineering group.
Yeah.
Unless Echo's got something.
It's definitely gonna take industrial, but I never did.
Closest would be computers to anything involving nanites or electronic warfare, and that's not a lot.
Yeah. So you don't. It would be more industrial. But you still have some skills in engineering. You've not. You don't exactly know what this machine is for, but you would definitely see it as some sort of something that does assembly or like 3D printing, something along those lines is what this machine is probably intended to be used for.
Oh wait, the table itself
Yes.
is a machine?
The table itself
Okay.
is a machine that's intended to assemble something.
I take back
Is
my
it-
nanite statement after you explain that.
Is it trying to print a person?
I would say I'll give it to you since you brought up nanites. There are nanite like machines that can do this sort of thing, but you don't know if that's what this is or not.
Nanoforge?
Just a teleporter? I think it's a teleporter.
Does look like a teleporter similar to that awesome, show that you love in sci-fi.
Yeah, this is right where the teleporter is. Never really worked well with orcs, though.
Oh yeah, you think they just failed the teleportation?
I mean, that'd be logical.
Hey, I'm the one with the pointy ears here.
I got 5 hits in first aid.
Like in the motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep moving. Let's find these crates and
Wait, hold on. We're
just
getting
hole
more
up by the
information.
I
airlock.
would say you got 5 hits on your first aid, so you not just see the little bit of a tusk and the other pieces of meat. You don't feel like this is all coming from one source of organic material. Put it that way.
Oh yeah, there's 2 spines in there.
Oh, yeah, no. Yep, I see that now. Okay, yeah, let's keep moving. Arachne, stop pointing your gun at it.
Okay, I'm coming. So the alien has 2 spines. So if I see something with 2 spines,
Not
I can
an
shoot it,
alien.
right?
Not an alien yet.
No, that's fine. If you see something with 2 spines, you can shoot it. Absolutely.
Actually, yes.
That one's easy.
That's perfect. Especially if you can see the spines and it is moving, and threateningly.
I can see the spines and it's moving.
Nope.
It's not moving threateningly. Not this thing.
Don't anger the death machine,
We're
Arachne.
we don't have that much ammo, Arachne. You're not going to be able to shoot the dangerous things later if you shoot this non-dangerous thing now.
Okay, good point. Nice death machine. I'm just walking by. See, I'm not doing anything. See, I'm a friendly elf. Nice death machine. I keep moving.
Is there like an off switch on the table?
No, you don't see any obvious off switch on the table.
Just an off button.
And if there is such a thing on the displays that are on the table, unfortunately, you do not recognize them.
All right.
Actually solves the quarantine by just turning the bad thing off.
That's how they work, right?
You see your tokens down here.
We do. We're in a place. Ugh. I do see 2 spines.
I see nothing but blackness, or I would have shot the thing with 2 spines.
Oh, can I not
Ah.
see 360?
You can't.
Directly in front of me, I can't see anything?
No, you can't see directly behind
Oh,
you.
directly behind me. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it should be behind you. Now you should have sight directly.
All
Can you
right,
take it away?
start.
Do you know?
Close your eyes.
I think I'm moving towards the hallway.
Yeah, we just came down the stairs here.
Oh,
That's
this is
just
great.
all black for me. I can't see if there's...
You should be able to rotate your token like that.
Yeah. I did rotate it. It's still too dark there for me to see if there's stairs. Might just be like the gamma on my monitor or something.
God.
Yeah,
happy
that is the
folk.
gamma on my second monitor,
Uh-huh.
I think.
I don't want to look at the death machine.
On this floor, I will describe as well in this room, as you kind of look around it, there's the obvious dry blood on the floor. You also notice on what would be the east side from where your tokens are, the floor has been really destroyed and kind of torn up over here. And it's been heavily damaged. The walls, metal walls as well, have been heavily damaged. And there's actually a very small kind of a round hole, big enough that probably a dwarf or maybe a really skinny elf, if they put their arms out in front of them, could slip through. That
In
goes
the east wall?
underneath
So-
the wall there. On the GM layer,
Alright.
you can't see me ping. Yeah, that layer.
Okay, yeah, so there's something. Look out for more holes in the walls. Whatever it is. Does it look
Shoot.
like, can we tell if the wall was like eaten through by acid or like...
Oh, that's a fair question.
Loxley's gonna move over and take a closer look.
I'll shine a light down there to make it easier to see.
Well, I think we're all shining lights with our helmets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've all got little lights on your helmets, though. It does not appear as if something has eaten away by acid. It looks like it's more been torn apart with hands or with tools.
God, hopefully with tools. Does it look physically torn though? Like I use a mini welder fairly often. Does it look like it was cut away with
Yeah, it doesn't
a
look any.
torch or just torn?
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything that was cut cleanly like a mini welder would do. It looks more like torn, or even something you do with like a crowbar or hammers, that kind of like really brute forced, like kind of torn apart.
Yikes. Alright, so look out for that.
Cool.
Nick, if you just want to keep watching the hole, I will slowly walk away.
I will do my best to walk backwards, although I literally have no perception of what is happening behind me.
Come on back. Straight back, Nick. Straight back. Straight back. That's not straight, right? That's... What?
I found a line on the ground I'm using to reference what straight is.
Yep, you're almost there. Stop, you're gonna hit echo.
Bumped into Echo.
Alright,
No perception behind me.
let's
is a
advance. Just somebody watch the hole.
Black void.
And then we can do this thing. that they also do in Trits, where you move up and then somebody watches behind, and then they person behind moves up while somebody watches them.
Yep. I'll
I'll watch the
I'll-
whole Nick. The rest of you guys can move up.
Loxley, give me a perception check. Visual. I don't know that'll too matter in your suit.
I found the hallway.
It's a glitch.
Oh jeez. The thing on the table kind of pops a little bit, and you hear kind of the grinding of bone and more like blood splatters onto the floor.
Gross. Oh, there was something I wanted to do. I've completely forgotten what it is. I'll let you know if I. Oh, I wanted to roll a leadership to like inspire everybody and be like, "All right, guys, I know we're on a scary space station with unknown things that kill people and tear through holes in walls, but we're professionals. We've got this." And Arachne is also really good with guns and ninjutsu.
heck yeah.
That's true. And I still don't want to be the first elf known to be, to ninjutsu an alien, because I'm pretty sure they're going to kill me.
All right. 10 dice is definitely a curse. 9 to 5. I can confirm that now. Now that I'm only rolling 9 dice for leadership, I get 5 hit.
Perfect. Alright, Echo, Arachne, ladies first. Still have to be gentlemen, even in space.
I don't think that's why you're doing that, but okay.
I'll get up to here and I'll turn around and I'll tell Loxley to follow suit.
Alright, Loxley, one moment before you move. Just as you...
Oh, do you want me back in the other room?
yeah, just about right there is good. Just as you start to turn or start to back up, you kind of hit the back of the door a little bit, and you have something square in your back, and it just kind of just surprises you a little bit. And as you're looking away, 2 of these really creepy looking little things slide off the table and begin sort of walking up to you, just sliding their way across the floor. As you turn back around, they're right on top of you,
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
and they are going to slash at your person. They've got these sort of roundish, the only you could describe as where their head is. They've got these long kind of tentacles. They've got these gross, like, coming out of their roundish head thing. And they have these sort of blank spots where you can kind of see that there might have been eyes, but there are no eyes. And they just come up to you and slap at you with their tentacles.
Loxley's
Okay.
dead. Let's leave him behind.
Give me your... oh, you don't get a defense. You're surprised. So you...
Do I get to make a surprise check after having inspired everyone?
I would have said yes, except that you glitched your perception. You are take it unaware. A moment while I look. So, what is your current physical limit?
6?
Yeah, I don't
Doesn't
think
seem right.
6 sounds right. I don't think there's any
Oh, no,
limit
that is right.
reduces your
Yeah.
physical limit. So, all right. So, this thing, you don't know what it is. It wraps its little tentacle around you and begins trying to hold onto you really tight. You've been squeezing your leg through the spacesuit. And the other one as well begins wrapping its little tentacle around your other spacesuit, and they're holding on, the 2 of them. And they're just, like, looking up at you with their grotesque, round, bulbous, like, heads.
Okay.
Alright. And I will give give you an action. Oh, gross. That's gross. You can go ahead and roll a surprise test now.
You might still be surprised. Is that what you're saying?
Now I'm gonna see if he's really, if he's irrecoverably surprised by those grotesque little things that come on you. No, you're not surprised by this. You were ready for something creepy and unexpected.
Like a full turn of actions, or
I don't want to
Or
roll
what?
initiative just yet unless we need to. So let's go ahead and you have an action, and I'll give Nick an action as well, and then we'll go back to these things. If we
all
need to,
right.
we'll roll
Well, I'm
initiative.
gonna just loudly say, "Oh God, oh God, I was wrong. They got me," and then see if I can just, shoot one of them in the face.
Alright, go ahead and take the -4, I think, actually, for shooting this close in combat.
So it'll be a -3 normally. It's
Yeah,
a
and that's your-
-2 for
And then
Moxley.
functioning in low gravity takes a -1 to all physical attribute actions. So yeah.
So I'm at an overall -3.
Oh, I thought it was a -2 for firing into, or -3 for firing into melee.
Yeah, Loxley has a martial art for it.
Oh, gotcha. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, -3. Cool. I knew I took a bunch of martial artists for a reason.
It's just a single bullet right there.
Alright.
Trying to
Shoot it.
shoot it. To be fair, I don't know if I can make a vitals shot, because I don't know if this thing has something that looks particularly vital to me.
Its face.
Yeah, it's you would guess it's head, perhaps. Just
All right,
a t-
that's what I'm
yeah,
going.
the center mass is probably more vital than the tentacles. So you can make a vital skull shot if you want.
All right, yeah, that's what I rolled for.
All right, did you do a semiotic burst or anything like that?
Nope,
Okay, single
just a
shot.
single bullet.
All right, you get 1 net hit on it.
All right, so it's gonna be 10s plus 1.
10s plus 1. All right. Me soak with his little body. Oh man. The gel round bounces off his little head. It's up to you, Nick.
What did it do? It bounced off his little head.
Oh, sorry, I'm totally reading my my macro incorrectly. No, it your gel round actually manages to pierce its little soft, fleshy head, and it seems to have killed it.
The tentacles let go of me.
The tentacles just slowly like drip off you, leaving just nasty smeared blood stains as it lets go of
Oh.
you.
So I probably would have shot the other one, just because Nick has a clear shot. I don't know if mechanically he has a worse shot on either one.
That works. All right, Nick.
Oh, that's all right. I don't feel comfortable shooting at Loxley's head.
It's
right-
wrapped around his legs. It's not on his head.
Alright. But still, I run the risk of shooting Loxley, so I'd like to just try to like pull this thing off of Loxley.
All right, go ahead. We'll just take the -1 for being in low gravity.
Alright. Is that countered out by Loxley being in melee with it, or is he not technically?
No, Loxley is in melee with it, so I didn't count for that. But you get the +1 for friends in melee.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's offset with that. All right, you reach down and grab hold of the little gory blood gut thing. You have 1 net hit on it.
My strength is 5. That to be 6 or
Yes.
lower.
So you manage to grab hold of it and rip it off of Loxley, and its little tentacles start flying, and it begins slapping at your arms.
Yeah, I tend to just try to like spike it against the wall, but
Okay.
if I can.
Let's see if he can break out of your grasp.
We get +1 to defense, I believe, in low G.
You do. Alright, it's grabbing hold of your arms and wrapping its tentacles around it, trying to pull your grasp free of its body. It is unable to do so. You can go ahead, if you want to roll an attack on it, try to spike it against the wall, you can. I assume Loxley's not going to shoot it out of your hands.
Loxley's gonna wait for him to throw it. In fact, if I could have spent my other free action, I would have said, throw it and I'll shoot.
Alright, so there's a wall not too far by. You just throw it and throw it as hard as you can against that wall. Let me roll its damage.
Oh, actually, I have superior position. Okay, doesn't matter.
You do
Yeah,
have
5
superior
hits.
position on it.
My
Strength is 5.
yeah, strength is 5. If you're gonna figure out damage based on the throw, strength is 5.
Yes. Just trying to think off the top of my head like how best to do this, because I like the thematics of it.
I thought there was something in there about how you take damage for like missing your gymnastics. This is basically a forced missing of your gymnastics test. I was thinking.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's just roll his soak. We'll worry about the damage
My-
after.
Yeah, my normal damage would be 6p plus net hits.
Yeah.
If you just want to do my strength of force.
Yeah, your strength would normally be a quarter of what it is when you're doing kind of a melee attack, but you're sort of trying to hit it against a wall. Okay, so you throw it against the wall. It looks like you hear kind of this awful like squish, like splat sound, and there's just this bloody stain down the wall as it slides down, and its little tentacles are still moving. It's not completely dead, but it looks like it's some of the tentacles have like fallen off to the side, and like half of its little like head is squashed in.
It's probably clear enough for Loxley to finish off if you bullet
Yeah.
Loxley.
He's gonna fire off 2 shots now.
Right?
No defense penalty.
Oh, it does, because it's harmed.
Oh. Sorry, none from me is what I mean.
Fair enough. Alright, 3 net hits on it. So yeah, you manage to hit it again with another shot, and it takes a ton of damage, and it stops moving, and it goes limp, and it's laying there.
And I aim my gun back at the one that I shot off of myself, take a step back, and shoot it in the head again, just for good measure.
Alright.
I'm just looking at my hand to see if there's anything on it doing anything weird.
It has this, your hand clearly has kind of this bloody gore to it, and it's dripping off of your hand a little bit. It's almost sort of,
Is it dripping or is it jumping?
it's not jumping, but it is like sliding off your hand, and it looks more like a slow, like, or a thick paint. Not runny like water, but like it's very thick and just dripping off down the side of your hand.
If they have any emergency chemical showers around here, let's keep our eyes out for that.
You two just stay back there.
Yeah, those things were alive. They were aliens. Not a teleporter.
I told you, and I said there'd be tentacles. I was right.
Yep,
You-
shoot the
you
next
were
one you
right,
see.
Arachne.
And as you step out of the room, Nick and Loxley, you can see that what was on the table is there's still pieces, but the main chunks of it are gone. as it
Of the
seems,
stuff that was on the table.
yeah, as if it seems to have assembled into these little things, and you would imagine they probably crawled off the table to you.
Okay.
I'm trying to wipe my hand off on the metal.
So can you actually describe this table a little bit more? Because I have a feeling like I'd actually like to try to break the table by doing a harder knock called shot on it, which will potentially be disastrous.
What is the harder knock called shot?
Basically, it just turns my stun damage into physical. It's a -4 or a -1 for Loxley.
Can you do that with a gel round?
Yes, that is specifically what it's for.
Interesting.
You find some sort of vital point to shoot at, and you just aim for that and it turns the damage from stun to physical. But if it looks like it's assembling more things, I want to try to break the table.
It's currently not assembling anything more. It looks like it's out of material.
Okay.
The
Then-
table is like, it's a sturdy piece of like industrial equipment. But
All
if
right,
you want
then
to,
I'd probably assume that the pistol's not going to work on it anyway.
you could definitely try to give it a shot. Without industrial mechanics, something you may not know the most vital spot, but we can look through your electronic stuff if you want to.
No, since it's out of materials, I'll just leave it and I'll say, like, let's look out for more of those tables, too. Oh god, Arachne, why are you over here? Don't get the blood on you. It might have nanites in it.
Wait. Okay, you two stay over there. Echo, we might have to leave these two behind.
We can still hear you.
I think you hear things. Are you sure the thing inside the spacesuit?
Positive. I saw it jump off of my hand. I mean, fall. It dripped.
It's dripping in a weird low gravity sort of way. I hope. It's just really thick.
So what do you guys think? You should stay away from us 10 meters at all time?
Well, then keep walking.
3 meters.
Maybe 2.5. Nick's mostly walking backwards, keeping a hand on Loxley to not bump into him.
Alright.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
It's not the hand that was covered with nanite blood.
Hey, Echo, there's a hole here. Maybe we should check it out.
You watch the hole. I'm watching out this door. What the hell is that?
There used to be a door there. There is no longer a door there.
Is that a turret?
That is a turret, yes.
Sorry, Arachnid. We broke our 3-meter rule.
It just did. Back up.
Yeah, you two stay back there.
Yeah, we'll stay right here. You gotta keep moving then. Or tell us why you stopped.
There's a turret.
Is it active?
I'm checking. Is it active?
It does not currently appear to be active or moving.
What's in that hole, Arachne?
Arachne, you find little scrapes of like flesh and bloody bits around that hole.
Hey, that's the other wall to the place we just were.
Yeah, it looks like they came through the wall and came out this way.
And
Does it
came
look-
th-
Oh, sorry.
and then went through what there used to be a door here, and then another wall back here.
Yeah, whatever came through here, I think it was bigger than the ones that were just on my legs.
Great. There's more of those things. That's a big ass turret.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the turret is mounted in the ceiling, and it looks like it's on a pivot that can rotate or even move down the halls if activated to do so.
What's down to the south?
To the south appears to be just more and more corridor up until the point where you hit the actual wall that you would imagine goes outside.
Gotcha.
This place is huge.
Yeah, it's all right.
Is there
We're
a sign on the wall right here by Loxley?
The walls here, do they look like they took pot shots from the turret?
The walls do not appear like they have taken any damage from the turret. Loxley, you do see a sign, and it says SRL. Sorry, it says SR dash L 9.
No, I say, hey guys, we should probably check this room.
You first.
all right. Yeah.
I thought Nick and I were staying behind.
Yeah, let's get a second opinion. Nick, do you think you should check that room too?
Yeah.
Echo, they've been taken over by something. They both agree.
No, look, the sign. Those are the numbers, right?
It says SRL on it.
All right.
Okay, you guys are close. You check it out. We'll stay back 3 meters.
Echo already went in, Arachne. So do you want to stay out in this hallway alone, or are you going to go with her?
Stick
I'm
the
going with
partner.
Echo.
Nope, God, she went in the room.
Actually, I'm having a hard time seeing.
There's a big block in here.
Who's in here? Go in that room. I'll whisper to Loxley. I think Arachne's been taken over. We might have to kill her.
Yeah, that seems correct.
No, my flashlight seems to be stuck in one direction. I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, do you have to rotate? Do you know how to rotate your little icon?
I'm
The little-
trying to, but the little square thing is stuck behind the circle, and I can't seem to grab
Oh,
it.
try zooming in or zooming out to different heights. You might be able to grab it better from a different.
Oh,
angle.
that worked. Awesome.
Now you can rotate
I don't know
yourself.
the hotkey off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure there's a hotkey you can do to rotate as well. But found the
That's
one
fair.
for squares. That's not what I wanted at all. Like that.
No, there's just a square.
Looks like a storage room.
Well, that's good, because that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, we'll check it out. You guys stay there. We'll call if you need anything, or if we see anything that needs to be squashed, stepped on, or gored.
Sure, we'll watch the hallway.
Are there any kind of identifying markers on these crates?
You can, give me, you can start looking at them. You do find that these crates, they are labeled, look at here, 624 is one of them, and they go up into a variety of numbers after that.
Does anybody have the numbers that we're supposed to look for? I know we wrote them down on the other page.
Yeah, I got 'em.
There's definitely 4 digits.
SRL 9876, maybe?
SRL 9863 and SRB 9763.
Okay.
And while Echo's doing her thing, I'm looking out for slimy tentacle things that might be hiding in this room.
That's fair. Alright, hold that visual perception.
Remember the picture that Benny gave us, or briefly showed us? I don't know if we still have it, of what the crates should theoretically look like. That should help narrow down your search if one of them's in there.
It's true.
Hey, Nick, Loxy, I think you guys are way too far away. It's at
Alright.
3 meters, right?
That's fair. Let's stop moving for a minute. Echo, you find some more splattering of kind of that dread blood. And then you come up on these sort of cylinder chambers that have an AR feed on the side. The one you're currently looking for is partially opened, and the lights are off. And there's just sort of these, it's empty. They look almost like, just vaguely like the chambers that you guys had arrived here in. These are much more high-tech, and they appear to have, they're thicker, and it looks like they're kind of more permanent. They're not for transportation, per se.
Oh, okay.
And there's kind of this blood, a little bit of blood that comes down from the tank and then is on the floor that you're stamping in currently. Very dried, very old.
You know what, Arachne? Why don't you go ahead? I'll watch your back.
That sounds an excellent plan. However, I got a better plan. How about we take the 2 people that have already been exposed and have them go in there?
That's a great idea.
Hey, Nick, Loxley, can you guys come up here and maintain your 3 meter distance at all time? There's a room I want you to check out. If you can, please. Pretty please.
You first, Nick.
Arachne, you're in. Okay. People are just running away from me.
Loxley's like trying to keep his back toward walls that don't have holes in them. And like watch all the hiding places where things might be. So just past you guys? Alright.
Yeah, just go on ahead.
Yeah, keep going. You're doing fine.
And
I watch to see if Arachne's pointing her gun at me as I go by.
as you pass this way, Nick, you see more of these kind of like these chambers with AR displays on them, and they all appear to be slightly open with various bits of blood around the floor near them. Again, that very old dried blood.
Take a hard look at it to see if it looks like it's moving ever so slightly.
There's nothing inside of it that you can tell, and the blood does not appear to be moving. It looks old and dry.
Okay, so it's just the bits that were moving on the table outside, not the blood itself. Or was it the blood that was also moving?
You're not quite sure.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, I don't think any of these have our laser under barrels, so just let's keep moving. Got another turret here. Could, like, wave my hand around the corner to see if it shoots it.
It does not shoot your hand.
Start going across the aisle.
Hold up once you're across the room. Let
Alright.
me get Arachne and oh, they're following.
Poke my head into this room here, see if there's anything that stands out.
There does not. This looks to be some sort of generator or something else of that nature. Some sort of big industrial size equipment. Some sort of life support or generator or something else.
Gosh, I bet there's a lot of valuable information on this.
It does appear to have more of those speckles of very, very dry. This blood, though, is actually black and not just dark red. It is... Shouldn't call it
Something
blood.
strange
There's
happened here.
dark bodily fluid there.
Are there holes in the wall or anything in this room?
You don't see any holes in the wall or anything of that nature in this room.
Alright.
Let's keep heading down. You two don't stay too far back. I don't think we're infected or anything.
Can I I don't know if I have any skills to make a check, but I want to like see if the blood seems to be damaging the suit at all.
Oh, do you have armor?
I do.
You do.
I have 5 dice for armor.
I'll let you buy the hit in armor. It does not look like the blood is like eating through the suit or doing anything of that nature.
All right. I'll say that to Nick as I check his arm and my own legs, and it doesn't seem like the blood's eating through or anything. So I hope we'll be fine.
Give you a bloody thumbs up as I take point.
So as you get about there to that big spill, Nick, that you just passed, you notice, you look down, and this is again like a big pool of almost inky blackness. It is still kind of flaky and rust-like, as it's much like old blood does. But this one in particular, you see the imprint of a boot.
Well, don't step in it anyway.
Yeah, no, I barely missed it. Look, there's a boot print, and is it a boot print facing us or facing in the direction we're going?
The direction you're going.
Okay, this is it. This is what we needed. As I take like a long arc around that, and then I'm gonna look now to the right, down this way.
It goes yet farther down into yet more cargo.
And I'm looking left.
And for the players, mechanically, like if you go off down that side, I'll move your tokens to essentially the other side of this map again. It's just going to be kind of a mirror image constantly wherever you go. But you can head that way. There's yet more rooms, more
I'm
cargo
inclined
that
to think, yeah, I'm inclined to think that that's important, but only because there was a boot on this side of the road.
If we look carefully, are there any like other like inky, bloody footprints leading that way?
You don't see any more. You just see the partial one in the blood spatter that you passed that was headed in that direction.
Okay, so whenever it stepped in that, it was too late to actually pick up traces of blood and track them.
All right, we need to get our bearings on this floor.
Oh, it looks like there's a door to the left.
Yeah.
Might be a storage room.
Reggie, why don't you get a number on that door over there? She's frozen with fear.
Loxley
changing
points
colors.
to where he's pinging.
Arachne refuses to go. Echo, does it?
Yeah, it's marked.
No, we don't want to mark it. We want to see what number it's on the door. Should be a panel on the wall, just like the last one.
Okay, let's check out the panel. Let's see what numbers.
GM.
Alright, on the side it says SRL-9.
Alright, we're still in that same section.
Oh, okay.
So
Are these
we gotta
all?
still like just take a. Are there storage containers in there?
There is a storage container in the back here, as well as this is like a very large cabinet.
Oh, that's Loxley asking the team. So
Yeah. Do you want us to see what's inside?
Yeah. See if you could find the package we're looking for. 9 something.
9863 or 9763. I can't remember.
So if a slimy thing jumps out, I'm gonna kill you both.
Kill it first.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, begin looking over the crate. It is labeled 9641.
9641. You still want me to open this?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
What's in that cabinet though?
Checking that out just now.
As we've been going around,
Hey Echo,
Have
just
we seen-
FYI, if you move way faster than everyone else, I'll hold you to it if you find a trap card. So, this is a word of warning.
I will pray to live.
Alright,
um,
what were you gonna ask, Loxley?
If we've seen any of the refilling or first aid stations as we've been moving.
Yes, you would find, they're not really marked on this map, but you find about every big intersection like this one down here, you will find a small, like, kind of cabinet.
Okay.
And then, Rachni, you go to try to open this container, and it appears to be locked. And you would almost imagine that, like, some type of drone or something very large would probably have to pull it open. It is exceptionally heavy.
And they made me leave my lockpick and pull stuff at home. Hey Nick, we need a drone or murder robot or something.
It's alright. I think I'm turning into one. Beep boop. Beep.
Also,
Hold.
you should be 2 meters up there. Start moving.
Well, you just walked. Alright, fine. The room's clear. Keep an eye on the number as we go. Figure out if we're going towards or away from 9763.
Where's Echo? Boxy, did you do something to
This
Echo?
is
You
also
should have typed 9763.
I'm up here.
That was 9641.
Or holes.
90641.
You should let... I love that you guys are letting the guy with 2 logic mark your rooms.
Yeah. Got it.
You're role playing that well, Todd. Excellent. Good job.
We're good. I just know the number
Another
we're looking
hallway?
for. I'm gonna write it down on everything.
Alright, let's
You
actually
wanna-
go ahead and take a quick break here. We've been going for about 2 hours, almost 3. So,
Alright.
this is a good spot right now. So we continue our
As
space
the
station
turrets
walk.
turn on and face us.
So be right back.